I'm sitting in the living room, a full glass of red wine in my hand. I don't drink. I don't know why I picked it up. I haven't tried it yet. The casket is upstairs. I haven't seen it since we visited the funeral home. I'm surrounded by familiar and unfamiliar strangers. They all wear black, like me. I can hear their muttered, solemn conversations. Awful thing to happen. She was so young. It didn't look like anything was wrong. I hope the family will be okay. No, I don't know why she did it. Is that the boy who found her? He's been sitting there since they came back. Poor lad. Poor lad. No one should have to go through this. I don't know the people who are talking about me. I just know they are friends of Granny and Grandpa, like everyone else in this village. I don't know them, but they know me. Did they know her? I look at the still cup of red wine in my hand. I bring it to my lips and drink. It tastes better than I thought it would, offering a small comfort. I sigh when I empty the glass, then set it down on the coffee table. I don't know why I just did that. Maybe I'll do it again. My mother is somewhere in the house, crying her eyes out. Dad is in the kitchen. I don't know why he isn't with Mom right now. I'm still thirsty. I need another drink of wine. I stand up, leaving the wine glass behind. Strangers politely shuffle aside, letting me pass. They all offer condolences and say that they are here if I need anything. I don't know why they're here in the first place. I don't know any of them, and none of them knew my sister. Pictures are framed on the walls. I looked up at one and stopped. A boy and girl are smiling back at me, wrapped in towels in the back seat of a car. They both still have chubby faces and eyes which haven't seen how cruel the world is yet. I keep walking. Dad's hunched over the sink. He's not moving. A wine bottle and cork are beside him, the latter laying on its side. His hand is on the wine bottle, tenderly stroking its lip. There are more strangers in here, who give me sad smiles and try to pat my back. I lean away from them. There's a bottle of red wine I picked up. There's a paper cup next to it. I pour the wine into it, to the top. It overflows, so I stop and set the bottle down. I drink the entire cup in one gulp until my stomach cannot take any more. The paper cup crumples in my hand before I throw it into the bin. I leave the kitchen. I go upstairs. The first room I see is open. There are people sitting in chairs, looking at something blocked by a wall. I can see the edge of it. It's wood. Inside is something I couldn't get down from the shower in time. Granny's in there, and she's leading the rosary. The people she's praying with have never met my family. They're dressed in nice suits and have little books. They gave me one. I haven't opened it yet. They're all staying in Granny's hotel. I don't think they've ever been to this village before. One of the people turns to me, frowning. He's a black man. There's no one of his skin color in this village, but there's plenty in the city my sister and I grew up in, across the ocean. She'd want to be buried over there, not here. The man stands up and walks to me. He puts his hand on my shoulders and leads me into the room. My heart clenches in my chest when I see the casket. My sister looks like she's fat and made of clay. Eyes closed and hands clasped across her chest. Her fingers are thin. She's dressed in a beautiful white dress. Boy, the black man says softly, his accent the same as my sister's. This is a sad time for your family. You need to be in here with your grandmother to support her. I glanced at her. She's still praying. Her eyes haven't even opened. Her mouth just opened and repeating the rosary again and again. The people around her. I looked back at my sister. The black ring, bruised into her skin, is evil. It wasn't there when I found her. A blue rope made of cords was. I can still feel it. I look back at the man. He stares into me, then sighs. Quiva, he said, turning to my grandmother. Quiva, your grandson is here. I'm impressed he can pronounce her name. I still have some trouble. Granny's eyes open. There are no tears in them. She opens her mouth when she sees me. Oh, Ned, she says. "Ned, please come and sit beside me." I don't say anything, because the man is pushing me toward her. She holds out her gloved hands and embraces me, pulling me down into the seat next to her. She holds me for a few seconds, patting my back. I can't tell if she means it or not. Then she leans back and sighs for a moment. Her breath catches in her throat. "Ned," she says, "I know this is a hard time for you. I know what it's like to lose someone you've grown up with your whole life. Sometimes, you only get one older sibling too. She stops and begins stuttering, her bottom lip quivering. She puts a hand to her mouth as tears start to rain down her cheeks. The other people, not a single one of them a family member or friend of mine, surrounded and comforted her, patting her back and saying how it will be okay. I take my chance and sit up, but I don't leave. I walk up to the open casket. My sister looks like she might wake up at any moment. My throat feels like a stone. My fingers tremble as I raise my hand slowly. Nobody's paying any attention to me. "Jenny," I say in a whisper. "Jenny, can you hear me?" She keeps her lips pressed together. "Jenny," I say again, still whispering. "Jenny, it's me. It's your little brother." Jenny doesn't say anything. "Jenny," I whisper. "I can't do this. I can't do this." My eyes feel wet. My lips shake. The muscles of my chin contract together. It hurts. "Jenny, I need you," I whisper again, hand now hovering over her dead fingers. "I need my big sister." Jenny doesn't open her eyes. "Please wake up," I say, lips curling into a frown as the tip of my fingers touch her cold, clammy skin. I pull away instantly. She's the coldest thing I've ever touched in my life. I can't be here. Men don't cry. I leave the room and rush back downstairs into the kitchen. I pick up the first stray glass of wine I can and drink it all in one go. By the time I'm done, I don't feel like crying anymore. I'm swaying. A hiccup escapes my mouth. People notice. I slowly leave, empty wine glass still in my hand, back upstairs. I don't care as I pass my still crying granny and a room full of strangers. I don't care that my mother is crying while her sisters from America vainly comfort her. They're also crying. I can't cry. I'm the man here. I can't cry. I can't do it. I can't be okay. My room is still dark, curtains drawn. Why am I laying in my bed, an empty wine glass on my head? Why aren't my friends here? Do I still have friends? I blink slowly, staring at the ceiling. This isn't my house. I'm in the city, not the village. There's still a wine glass on my head. I sit up, set down the wine glass on the floor, and push myself off the bed. I check my phone. Granny sent another message about the people of the way and their sessions. She says Dad and Mom will be attending. She wants me to get in touch with the American branch. I wanted to ask what happened to the hotel, but she wouldn't say anything. It's not hers anymore. The current owner was a friend she made during Jenny's wake and subsequent funeral. I think he's the man who tried to make me support my granny. I read their little book. I hate it so much. I burned it after. I'm naked and look at the bed. No one's in there. A picture is framed on the bedside table of two smiling naked children, a brother with a big sister, covered by white towels. Where are they now? I don't know. They might as well be dead. I don't get dressed until I've drank an entire can of ginger ale. I drink another and then a third. They join the pile in the corner. I take a piss in a toilet I haven't flushed since last night, and don't brush my teeth. I run my tongue through a gap between my front teeth where two more should be. Why didn't I save them? I burp before I get dressed. It makes my heart burn. Then I leave and walk to work. I'm still not entirely sure what my job is, just that I need to be sober for it. I'm drunk. I stop in a bar, waiting for it to pass. I look at the TV. I blink slowly and squint at it. I know a face on it. It's the man from Jenny's funeral. He's wearing an orange jumpsuit. There's a woman holding some paper and sitting behind a desk, talking about his victims who range in age from 12 to the age Jenny was when she took her own life. She says that his followers are going to post his bail. Then I see my granny, mother, and father on the TV. They've changed. Where's Grandpa? I don't see Grandpa. What happened to Grandpa? I can hear Granny talking. I simply cannot believe the allegations against one of the Lord's chosen, she says, her thick Irish accent somehow comforting. He showed us that even the death of our beloved Jenny had a purpose, that even despite her sins, she could be saved by our prayers. He has revitalized his village and changed it for the better. What? I say aloud and walk up to the bar. Hey, can you turn that up? I point to the TV. He gives me a stink eye. That's my family on there. His stink eye vanishes and he does as I ask. I stare, mouth dropped open, as Mom talks about how she found spiritual healing, how she found the way, and that she doesn't need to grieve her daughter anymore. Dad is tall and stoic, without a glint in his eyes. I wonder what his breath smells like. Same as mine, I hope. Then it cuts away to reveal the black man being led away in cuffs. He stands tall and proud, an arrogant look on his face. The newscaster begins explaining how police have uncovered evidence of vast abuse directed at several young girls who joined the people of the way or expressed interest. She lists off the locations that he visited. My heart sinks when she says Detroit, roughly 10 years ago. Jenny had been in Detroit 10 years ago, before she died. It can't be. It's impossible. There's no way that this man, who is that? I ask when the black man is on the screen again. Calls himself the Prophet, the barman says. Cult leader accused of sexually abusing multiple women and girls, among other things. Prophet, I tasted the word. It tastes like a hunk of rotting meat in my mouth covered in maggots. Hadn't he asked to help invite people he thought would help with the funeral? Was he why my friends hadn't come to the funeral? Why had he been so supportive during the wake and funeral of a stranger he'd never met before? Why had he booked a room at Granny's hotel? Why had he pushed me toward her? Why had he been in the same room as my sister's body? Why had he been looking at it? What had he been thinking? The newscaster continues talking, explaining how his fiancée was appealing to all good followers of the way to help her in freeing her beloved. A picture of my granny is on the screen. I lean back against the bar counter, unable to speak. That bastard. That utter bastard. I shake. Everything becomes a blur as the prophet appears on the screen again, his arrogant face staring into me. There's pictures of my village on the screen. It's not like I remember. Only a bunch of strangers holding placards and protesting. They say his name, a single chant. Prophet, prophet. They cry out. None of them were in the village when I left. That isn't the village I grew up in. That's what was built on top of it. Did they say where he's being held? I ask, a sick feeling forming in my chest. I like it. No, the bartender said softly, but look, son, I think I know what's going through your head. I look at the bartender to find a grim expression on his face. Don't do it. Don't go down that road. There's no going back. I know it hurts, but you don't want to make it worse. Grief, it destroys a person. It'll destroy you. It already has, I said softly, and it's gotten my family now. My throat is a stone again. I get up and leave the bar. I'm not going to work. I've got enough money for a one-way ticket to Ireland. I've got enough money to stock a drawer full of knives. I know where the prophet will be. He'll be in my home, in the village. I grew up in that place. The prophet didn't. It's time for a homecoming.